Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's show, I got a six-pack of Raiders news and rumors around the Raiders training camp, maybe a little bit of Hard Knocks talk coming up, but ultimately today I got news and rumors. The dude that I want to start this show off with is Antonio Brown, because according to Pro Football Talk, Brown burned his feet by entering a cryotherapy machine without the proper footwear, and now his feet were frostbitten. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I posted a picture of Antonio Brown's feet. So just warning here, all right, if there's any kids who maybe get sick, you might not want to see this picture. So here are Antonio Brown's nasty, nasty feet. They're gross. Like, there is no doubt about it. For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. I almost threw up when I saw this, okay? It was originally believed that Antonio Brown had blisters. Y'all can see those aren't blisters. I don't know what that is, but it's not blisters. Now, the fact that there's literal skin peeling off his feet, that's one of the reasons why AB was forced to leave practice early. That's one of the reasons why he had to go see a specialist. Now, he is considered day-to-day with that foot injury. The only thing here is it's not too often that a player would go through something like this with Antonio Brown's dealing with. So the timetable is really tough to put your finger on. Speaking of putting my finger on it, I would never put my finger anywhere near those feet. So, one more time, I want to show you guys Antonio Brown's feet, just in case one time wasn't enough, all right? So soak this in, okay? I want you to deal with this. Deal with it. Producer Tad's freaking out a little bit. Those feet are nasty, and I understand that. So, see the feet, absorb it, think about this. Now answer this question, okay? Name something you'd rather see than Antonio Brown's feet. Would you rather see Tom get out of the tub? People are talking. Would you rather see Derek Carr's feet? Comment below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, name something you'd rather see on Antonio Brown's feet. I think probably the favorite answer that I saw on Twitter was somebody said that they would rather watch the Tuck Rule game over and over and over. That just goes to show how nasty this guy's feet are. Now, make sure you guys subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel here on YouTube, youtube.com/Raiders Report. And coming up in a little bit, I know I didn't go into live like on what I normally do, but coming up in a little bit, I'm going to be doing a watch party for HBO Hard Knocks. Hopefully you guys are coming along for the ride there. Make sure you click that big red subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you know when I go live. All right, let's keep the show rolling here. We're going to talk a little bit about Maurice Hurst, because is he going to start? I'm not quite sure. So I had a bunch of people reach out to me and say, holy crap, Mitch, did you see that the Raiders, they released their first depth chart of the season? And one of the most shocking things was the fact that Mo Hurst was behind Justin Ellis and behind JOHNATHAN HANKINS on the depth chart. Sure, Mo fell in the draft, but in terms of production, I think Mo Hurst was arguably our defensive MVP last season, maybe behind Whitehead. So here's the Raiders defensive line depth chart after they released that first, depth chart. So they had Morrow starting, then they have Hankins, Ellis, and Furl as their starting defensive line. I am very, very puzzled in why Mo Hurst wouldn't be starting over Hankins and wouldn't be starting over Jelly. Because in terms of sacks, Mo Hurst led the team in sacks last year as a rookie. Sure, 4 is not a high number, and sure, the Raiders had only 13 last year. But a defensive tackle leading your team in sacks his rookie season, I actually think is pretty good if you ask me. Now, Mo Hurst, I think, when you consider the fact that he's entering that second season, and I think he's a really talented player, but if you're going to tell me that you're going to play a player like Justin Ellis, who in 2018, sure, he played in only 6 games, but had 7 tackles in those 6 games, 0 sacks. I don't want Justin Ellis starting over Mo Hurst. Personally, between you and me, I think that makes literally no sense. Okay, and then you have JOHNATHAN HANKINS. I think JOHNATHAN HANKINS did pretty good last year, the 36 tackles. But again, if you were to ask me straight up, who would you rather have starting on that line, JOHNATHAN HANKINS or Mo Hurst? I'm going to pick Mo Hurst every single time. And it's really not even that much of a debate to me. Mo Hurst, the fact that he's number 2 on their list is very, very puzzling to me. And it's something that I can't quite wrap my head around. So I want everybody who's watching our show to answer this question because we are the most interactive YouTube channel, and I want to get to know what you guys think. I don't want you just to hear what I have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. Will Hurst start week 1? I want you to type 1 for yes or 2 for no. Will Hurst start week 1 this year? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's talk about Hunter Renfrow because I'm starting to get a little bit of a man crush on this guy. So he was listed over Ryan Grant as the starting slot wide receiver, which if you are a loyal watcher, that shouldn't surprise you because I've been saying for 3 months that Hunter Renfrow is going to jump Ryan Grant, and you shouldn't be surprised. So here's the Raiders wide receiver depth chart that was just released. The thing that has impressed coaches the most with Hunter is his ability to create separation and the fact that he's a solid route runner. One of the best things that Derek Carr, I think, ever had, and Jalen Richard, or let's say Jared Cook, was just the fact that he could rely on those players last year. Hunter Renfrow now is going to insert his way into this lineup. He's already building great chemistry with Antonio Brown. And when you think that you have Antonio Brown, then you have Tyrell Williams' speed, and now you're telling Derek Carr that he has a reliable slot receiver in Hunter Renfrow working over the middle. That's really good to see and already really good to hear because I'm telling you this right now, the fact that Hunter is already inserting himself and it's only been 2 weeks is really, really good things to come for Renfrow. So I'm going to throw this question at you guys, and I want you to think about it, okay? More receptions this season for the Oakland Raiders, Hunter Renfrow or Darren Waller? So I want you to type R for Hunter Renfrow or type W for Darren Waller. So Renfrow right now is the starting slot wide receiver, and then you have Darren Waller, who is going to be the starting tight end. So one more time, R for Renfrow, W for Waller. One of the reasons why I wanted to know what you guys thought of this question was because Darren Waller, according to all reports, and the reports coming out from The Athletic, is that this kid has been impressing early in camp, and he has been unguardable. So the fact that Darren Waller has been unguardable, I'm not too surprised about because it's one of those reports where it's hype season, but also Darren Waller is an extremely good athlete, right? He's got great size, ability to make plays down the field, and a lot of people, according to reports, are saying that his ability to high point the football, you can tell that he was previously a wide receiver. And also, do you remember this? John Gruden said that he's the NFL's best kept secret. If Darren Waller keeps balling out, he might not be the NFL's best kept secret. So I wanted to highlight to you guys how athletic Darren Waller is, okay? So his 40-yard dash time. Now this is in 2015. 40-yard dash time, 4.46. Vertical jump, 37 inches. The broad jump, 125 inches. The 60-yard shuttle, 11.35 seconds. For those of you that don't realize how good those numbers are, that's a better 40 time than Devontae Adams. That's a better vertical jump than DeAndre Hopkins. It's a better broad jump than Odell Beckham Jr. It's a better 60-yard shuttle than Antonio Brown. Darren Waller is a phenomenal athlete. And if the Duke can keep his head on straight this year, I'm telling you right now, go draft this guy in fantasy football leagues, and don't be surprised if he absolutely balls out because the opportunity is 100% there because Jared Cook is now with the Saints, which now leaves 68 catches up for grabs. 896 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. And Jared Cook was no doubt the go-to guy, okay, for Derek Carr. And now you're telling me I can get a little bit of Darren Waller in that? Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. So you guys know that I like fantasy football. All right, you guys know that I talk about it a lot. And Darren Waller is no doubt going to be one of my sleepers that I pick up in every one of my drafts. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. Do you play fantasy football? I want you to type 4 for Believe It Baby or type 0 for Tuck Rule, Tuck That. And for those of you that say, no, I don't play fantasy football, I'm sorry for your loss. And for those of you that are like, hell yeah, I play fantasy football, DM me FF to enter my Raiders Fantasy Football League. You guys want to play fantasy football against me and against only people who subscribe to the Raiders Report and only loyal watchers? DM me FF to enter my Raiders Fantasy Football League. I better see you guys there. Next rumor coming in here. Are the Raiders going to utilize a NASCAR package? So for those of you that don't know what the NASCAR package is, it was made famous by the New York Giants. So teams use this package to blitz opponents. When you have only 13 sacks last year and you're ranked dead last, maybe utilizing the NASCAR package is something interesting. So the reason why I think that the Raiders are going to utilize the NASCAR package is because I heard that Arden Key is likely going to be only on the field in pass situations. I know Arden Key is a good athlete, and I want Arden Key to be able to get after the quarterback. So right now, here's the Raiders' defensive line depth chart. Okay, you have Morrow, you have Hankins, you have Ellis, you have Furl. To me, though, there is a lot of talent in that back end or in the depth part of the Raiders' defensive line depth chart. So for me, I think if the Raiders go out and do a NASCAR package, this is what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be Cleveland Furl. I think it's going to be Arden Key. I think it's going to be Mo Hurst and Max Crosby. And for those of you that are like, wait, Mitch, you got 3 defensive ends there? Yeah, that's actually how the Giants used to do it. It's a package built on speed, and it's a package when you have the most fresh players, ultimately really being able to get after the quarterback. So I want you guys to let me know if you like this idea. This is an idea that I'm coming up with because I think the NASCAR package is a way where we can keep some of these younger players fresh, and ultimately a way where we can maybe get after the quarterback a little bit more. Okay, so how about this? I've had this debate with a bunch of my college friends for a long, long time. So shout out to you, Chad, and I know you watch the show. Is NASCAR a sport? Type Y for yes or type N for no. In my opinion, I don't know if it's a sport. All you do is turn left, and are you actually doing the work? So is NASCAR a sport? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I can promise you, though, it is a waste of gas. Also, make sure you guys get started with my sports sponsor, MyBookie. Use my promo code GORAIDERS for 100% deposit bonus, okay? So get started. Go to MyBookie, chatsports.com/Raiders. If you get started with MyBookie, I will give you a shout out. Over the weekend, I was in San Diego. I know there's a bunch of people that signed up with MyBookie. I promise you, you will get your shout outs. Last thing on today's show, Nevin Lawson, 4-game suspension. I figured we might as well end the show with a little bit of bad news. So Lawson announced on social media that he tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug and will miss the first 4 games. The NFL then suspended Lawson, who said he unknowingly took Osterine. And the fact that he says that he didn't know that he took it, I necessarily don't know if I believe him. I think for an NFL player, you should know what you're putting in your body. Sure, he apologized, but for right now, he is the 3rd-string cornerback on our team. So that's really important, what I want you to think about. Nevin Lawson, sure, he had a pretty solid year last year for the Lions, and we signed him to a 1-year deal worth $3.5 million, okay? $3.05 million, my mistake. And the fact that he had only 5 pass breakups last year, and he's never had an interception. His weak point in his game, guys, is his ability to be able to cover passers. So Nevin Lawson is our 3rd-string cornerback, okay? He's on the 3rd string. So do we really want to keep this guy? He's going to be suspended the first 4 games. So here's my question. Will the Raiders cut Nevin Lawson? I want you to type C for cut or type K for keep. Let me know in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, and if you want to know what I think, hit me up on IG or Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.